It's been such a long day. I wanted to really record all this and upload today, but everything happened today. It's been a nightmare. But I actually got back on track. I went to move my car, which was in this spot, and then I couldn't move it because I accidentally took my key when I was messing with the door lock stuff, and I had to go all the way back home, pick up the key, come back over here. Finally got the right key because I have like 3 different BMW keys, and I put the car on the lift. Now it's time to replace the wheel hubs. I've laid out the parts that I'm gonna be using. I also got another wheel bearing because I don't know why they sent me one with a little rubber seal and one without. So I got another one with the seal, but this one is even better. This is that brand that everybody uses. And then I went and finally bought a 46mm socket. Had to go all the way to Northern Tool to get this. Then I had to get a 1/2 inch to 3/4 adapter. So this is 3/4 instead of 1/2 inch. This is the puller that I'm gonna be using with those bolts. I also got a wheel bearing removal tool. It has a receiver and a puller thing, so it should make the job a lot easier. Hopefully I'll be able to use this tool. It says that it's for front wheels, but I'll be using it for the rear. All right, so we have the hub, and now I'm gonna take this bolt, thread it into it, which I'm gonna use in 3. You can see it has 3 legs, so it has this one, and this one. And then, so I don't rely on these threads, I'll use the nut and put it through the back. There it is. So now I have double the threads to pull on this. First step will be to, again, remove the wheels. Ta-da! I guess I will start with the front wheels. First thing that I will need to do is to remove the brake caliper. First thing will be to remove these 2 bolts here. So you got these caps that keep the dust out of it. So remove them with a flathead screwdriver. Then you will use a number 7 Allen key, and it goes right here, and the top one. This is a piece that came out of the caliper. This will be the slider, since it's a sliding type caliper, not dual piston or 4 piston. So this part threads into one side of the caliper, and the rest of the caliper slides on this. As you can see, there's traces of old grease in there. You will want to remove this grease and apply new one before installation. Next will be to remove this spring. You simply pry on it a little bit and it comes right off. Wait. You literally gotta push it back and then it comes off. There you go. Now I can remove the brake caliper. Where the line doesn't let me do it this way. There we go. And then I will rest that on the lower control arm. Now I have access to the 2 60mm bolts holding the brake caliper bracket in place. Now I can remove the brake rotor. It has a 6mm Allen key bolt. Just remove that and then you can take this off. If it doesn't come out right away, use a rubber mallet to tap it out. Now there is a cap on the hub, so you will need to remove that with a flathead screwdriver. Now I got the inside exposed. So you got this little locking thing in here. You gotta pry this off and then you can use a 46mm socket and get this out. Now that I backed out the lip on the nut, I can actually remove it. The wheel bearing, assembly, and hub should all slide out at this point. It looks like it has seen some better days. This part stays behind, it's literally pry it, and it comes right off effortless. Take this opportunity to clean up in here. A little bit of brake cleaner, and then wipe it off. That way there's no contaminants in there from whatever could be there from before. Check out the difference between the old hub and the new hub. It's so nice inside of new race car parts. With the new one, it should literally be just slide it through somehow. And just like should go in there. Since this part wants to come off which I think is 2 halves, literally 2 equal parts like this, hold the bearing together. I use the old part against this and just tap it here to push the other part in with the hub. Now I can drive the rest of it with the nut that holds the hub in place. I will install a nut. By hand, I will tighten it down. Hopefully with this angle you'll be able to see it going in as I'm turning the nut. Now that the nut is tight, now I can notch the little lip of the nut here so it secures it and keep it from spinning. The lip back in, I tried reconstructing this bent part as much as I could. Normally these kits come with this, but mine did not come with a new lid. Now it's time to put the brake rotor back into place. You know, align it up and then put this little bolt back in that will hold it in place. Then reinstall the caliper bracket. Clean and apply a fresh coat of grease to the sliders. Now at this point, can reinstall the brake caliper itself. Into the sliders and it will lock it in place. After you install and tighten the sliders, replace the back plugs. And now last, we can put the spring on the caliper. To put the spring back into place, put the lower part first, run it through, and then pry the other one over. And that's it. Now comes the part that I've really been waiting for. It's time to install the wheel studs. These are 75mm wheel studs. I will apply some red thread locker on the bottom, the part that will go onto the hub, and then you tighten it down with an Allen key. I will use some Permatex high strength red thread locker on this. I like using this gel one because it's a lot nicer to apply and it doesn't like drip everywhere. So apply a little bead on this all the way around, and now it's ready to install. Now the wheel stud will go in like this. Now to tighten this, I figured that was gonna happen. With the wheel mounted, I can keep it from spinning. This is what they look like installed now. By the way, guys, I know these rotors look really horrible right now. I do have some on the way. I bought new pads and rotors for the car all the way around, but they haven't arrived yet, and I really need to install this so I can get going. So probably Monday or Tuesday those are gonna arrive, so I'll be doing those next week. The wheels are finally installed, and it just spins forever now. Yeah, that's like the rust on the rotor grinding against the pads. This just looks amazing right now. I'm really happy with how this turned out. I thought the neochrome color was gonna be a little ricey, but it actually looks really, really good with the wheel. Now we move to the rear section, which we need to remove the caliper. I will not remove the whole thing this time since there's nothing in the way keeping me from removing the main bolts that hold the entire caliper, which in this case are 15 millimeter. I'll remove those two. Then I will remove this, which is a 6 millimeter Allen key, and then the rotor will come off. Remove the caliper. I just like lay it right here. Got nowhere else to put it. Now remove the Allen key bolt. Now we can remove the rotor. To remove the axle nut, it's gonna be a 30 millimeter 12-point socket. I raised up the car a little bit more because now it's time to remove the axle. The nut is off from this side. Now I gotta remove the 6 E12 Torx bolts. So the socket for that will look like this. It will say E12 on the side. You will need to undo the mounting points for the sway bar so you can maneuver the axle out of the way. I've already taken 3 bolts off each side. In order to lock the axle from spinning, you can access the shifter rod from underneath the car without I'd rather do this instead of putting the e-brake. This way I can operate it by myself. I can just put it in gear, take it out of gear every single time. If you pull the e-brake, you have to get all the way inside the car and undo it, versus on gear, you can just do it from underneath and you can do it single-handedly. Axles are out of the way. Now we can get to the hub removal. I'm gonna need that puller that I got over there to get this off. Then, what? Are you serious? The ball bearing is so bad that it literally came off my hand. You're supposed to be pulling on this really hard for it to come off, and it literally just came right off. Huh, saves me some time then. Oh well, moving on to the next step then. The next step will be to remove this circlip holding the bearing in place. That's why I need another tool for this. You will need a set of these snap ring pliers. Now I will use a circlip pliers to remove this. And the circlip is off. Now I'm going to use the bearing removal tool. I have the receiver part right here. There's a bolt going all the way across. It has the other part over here. You can't really see it, but I'll show you once I pull it out. And now I should just twist here and hold the other part. I will drag the bearing out. Let's see if this tool actually really works. I mean, I feel like it's doing something. Oh, I think that's it. The bearing is out and it's in here now. I will now demonstrate to you guys how the system works. You have one bolt all the way across. You have this part that's gonna pull on the center of the bearing. Then let me take this off. In the next minute, this will come off. Washer. All right. Here we go. This is what it looks like after I pulled it. So I got this part is pushing on this part of the bearing. Then this sits on the receiver. The receiver has to be just slightly bigger than the bearing. So once you pull it, it goes into it. And this part is holding to the edge of where the bearing is put in. Yeah, this bearing was toast. There's no good. Trash it is. Now to install the new bearing, you don't want to push here. You want to push all the way on the end. You will need the tool that's the same diameter as the bearing outer diameter. And then this way it will push on this part and will not damage the bearing's internals. To install a new bearing, I will have this configuration. Bolt, washer, got this part. Bearing will go like this with the other thing. Then washer and this part. So that means as I tighten this part right here, you will see that it starts pushing the bearing in. And it's like a hydraulic press, but mechanical. Now I will install this. Goes to the back like this. Then next will be the bearing. Then we have the tool that's gonna push the bearing. And we have the washer and the nut. Then I have to put it this way first. It's gonna be a little tricky to like hold it in place. There, that should be set. Now I need to use tools for this. Now that I got everything aligned, it will sometimes slide up and down, so you gotta get it straight. Now just literally effortless. It's starting to go in there. Very easy. So this is gonna drive it all the way till it hits that bottom end. I hit the rock bottom on this, so I will not go any further. Now I can remove the tool. Just spin the other way around and take everything apart. Finally. I remove this and take the whole thing out. Oh, don't fall, don't fall. All right. Now it's time to replace the snap ring. It's so much easier when you have the bearing all the way in, it just goes right in. If you don't have the bearing all the way right in, it will not go in. You need to go further. Next will be to install the hub. This will be the back hub. Now I will just put it on here for now, right on the tip. And now we gotta press it in the same way we were doing everything else. This is the setup now to install the hub into the bearing. I have this that's bigger than this, so it fits flat. And then on the back side, I got the small piece which is gonna put pressure on the inner race to hold them both together so it squeezes in. And if I just literally push this in without holding the other part, it'll push the other one out. So you have to hold the bearing together to actually squeeze this and put it in place. If you notice, the bearing has two pieces inside. So if you push on this one, then this one, if it's not being held from the other side, just push it right off. So you have to hold from here and pull it through while holding the other side. So that's what I'm doing with the tool. Now that I got it centered, I just literally gotta just keep turning this knot and I'll drive it all the way in. I went to make a thumbnail video and things just got very spiky around here. There's no way to like do this with the studs in play, they're too long. Check out the difference now. Ultra quiet operation from the new bearing. No play. Now to reverse the steps, gotta put the axle back in, put the knot, then put the 6 bolts all the way in the differential flange all the way over there. And then do the other side. Wait, no. I gotta finish showing you guys how it's done. So I'm gonna finish this side and then I'm gonna do the other side. The way that my exhaust is set up is in the way of everything. You gotta pass the axle through back here. Pull down on the sway bar. There you go. And now guide the axle spline part to the hub. There you go. Now I put the back flange in. Now it's time to replace the axle nut. Reinstall the brake rotor. And the caliper. Now I can install the rear wheel studs. I ran out of red thread locker. Wait, nope. Ooh, piece of candy. What I meant to say is that I ran out of red thread locker, but handfully I have another one. Not doing that again. Here we have a scene of makeup with Alberto. You're gonna put some red lipstick on. Just do a little twisty thing here. And then, wait guys, do not do that at home. Do not put this on your lip. It will probably taste horrible. Continuing where I left off, I should probably put a little bit more on this one since I didn't put enough. Oh, wait, too much. Too much. There. Now I tighten these down. Oh, wait. No. It spins. There, I put the car in gear. Now I can actually crank these things up. Oh, wait, crank them down. Crank, yeah, I did the wrong word again. That's what happens when you work late. And then this one. And then I got this last one over here. And then I'm gonna check this one again. All right, they're all tight. Now we'll bring in the wheel. Yeah, now you can install wheels a lot easier on BMW because it has studs this time. It doesn't have the open thing where you say, oh wait, I gotta install the wheel, hold on, wait. All right, I got it. And it'll fall off anyways. Now very carefully install the lug nuts. What's going on over here? Why is this one hard? Oh, there we go. Wait, no. Oh, there it is. Now hit the fast forward button, but without fast forwarding. Really? And here is our fully mounted rear wheel. Let's see if it has any play. Nope. Spins pretty good, even though the transmission is engaged. That's why you hear that tap like that. That's a transmission and drivetrain. All right. Now I can actually spin the whole thing. Excellent. I almost wonder what it will be like to drive the car with no door, as long as it doesn't rain. This concludes the installation of the wheel hubs and extended studs on the BMW E36. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. And now I should get to the other side, which I'm not gonna put on video because I'll bore you guys with the same thing 2 times. So I'll see you guys tomorrow.